Hi ladies and gentlemen, this is Jasmine speaking. I'm also known as Bubbles on Ice. You can find me on Tumblr, where I usually get my requests for tarot readings. You can also find me on Patreon. I have a Patreon page for paid members, for those who are interested in longer and more thorough readings. I do twin flame readings there. I do 18 plus readings. Sometimes I do pendulum readings. And I also do personal readings as well. So take a look if you haven't. You can find the link for my Patreon in my bio. Before I start this reading, I just want to say that I'm doing this for entertainment purposes only. So take everything I say with a grain of salt. That is because the people that I read for, they are not here and they cannot confirm or deny anything that I say. So it's not fair to actually, say anything else than this is for entertainment purposes. And also, I just want to tell you that I'm not a native English speaker. That means that I try my very best to do this in English, but I do struggle with grammar. I do struggle with pronunciation, and sometimes it is very hard for me to find the right words. So I just want to apologize beforehand. And if you like my content, I hope that you consider to give me a subscribe, a like, a comment, anything. I will be very grateful for that. That will encourage me to keep on making this tarot reading videos. Today we are going to do a reading for Liam Hemsworth. This is a requested reading that has been requested from me for a very, very long time. I noticed this one person in my YouTube comments has been asking for this for many, many months. I'm sorry that I have not been able to take time to do this before, but better late than never, so I'm doing it today. So let's take a look. I've never done a reading for Liam Hemsworth before, and I have to admit that I'm having some trouble telling these brothers from each other. I think there are several brothers. There is one Chris Hemsworth, there is one Liam, and there is one, is it Luke? I don't know if there are any more, but yeah. But we're doing Liam today. Let's see what the cards has to say about Liam Hemsworth. I'm getting this card, Angel of Expression, which kind of means that the cards are encouraging Liam to be more expressive, to express himself more clearly, to speak his truth. I think he is the type of person who might be keeping a lot of things within himself. He might not always communicate very clearly. But I think most of his intentions are very innocent and very genuine. But because he is not very good at communicating, he's not very clear when he speaks. He a lot of times are being misinterpreted. His intentions are being misinterpreted. And he's not good at explaining to people, and he doesn't like explaining himself either, so he will just let people misunderstand him. This can be a blessing in disguise in some certain occasions, of course, because sometimes you avoid problematic connections, and sometimes you avoid problems. And he's definitely the type of person who doesn't like conflict, so he avoids them whenever he can. He doesn't like to go into argument. He doesn't like to be put in a corner. He doesn't like to be cornered and ask questions. We have also got the wedding card. Now, I just want to say that a lot of the times a wedding can mean, a wedding. So if he is in some kind of a long-term commitment, this might mean that he actually is heading towards a wedding, which means a union of two souls, joined in love, mutual respect. But it can also just signifies a desire to deepen, his love connection. It doesn't need to necessarily mean wedding, but it can also mean that he might be taking his relationship to the next level. A lot of times it can also mean, it can also just be symbolic. So wedding can also indicate, a new chapter, or a new something new happening, receiving some good news. Take a look at what is happening in his life right now. If there are any major, things happening, how is he feeling? It looks like that he is struggling a little bit with himself when it comes to decision. He is the type of person who is always trying to seek for the light. He's trying to seek answers and solutions to his questions. And he's very indecisive. He doesn't know whether to stick with something or just let things go and flow. He can wake up one day and plan something and decide that he will stick with it, and then the next day he will change his mind. So he is very indecisive, and that sometimes causes him a lot of headache, because he is very much about, giving himself a little bit more dazzle in his life. He's in search of, more excitement in his life. I think he's bored. I think he is bored, and he wants more out of life. I want to take a look at what are his strengths. What are his strengths? I think his strength is that he is a very grateful person. He is, he's very thankful to a lot of things. He doesn't take things for granted. And he is also the type of person who can, still keep dancing even when things are hard. And he is very mindful when it comes to getting enough rest, filling his energy vault. So those are his strengths. He's very, he knows how to take care of himself, both physically and mentally. But what are his weaknesses, though? Look at this. We have say yes and say no. So for him, it's all about, being indecisive. He doesn't know whether to say yes or say no. It is always different from day to day. He's very, very indecisive. And he's also someone who easily takes offense. If someone says something to him, he doesn't take constructive criticism easily. He has to learn to be more acceptant when people actually, tell him something, tell the truth. Oh dear. We've got the Tower moment, and we've also got the Nine of Swords, which is all about anxiety, fear, depression. We have also got the Six of Swords, which is about transition, moving on. And we have got the Hermit reversed, which tells us about loneliness, withdrawal, isolation. You see, the thing is, Liam is actually like the Knight of Wands. He is actually a very energetic person. He's very passionate. He's all about action. He's very adventurous, and even fearless. And he's very impulsive. You can never tell what his next move might be because he's very unpredictable. But I kind of feel like he has stagnated a little bit. There has been a sudden change in his life. There has been some groundbreaking changes. There has been, or it is happening, or there might be some groundbreaking changes coming for him. I'm not sure whether it has happened yet, if he's going through it, or if this is in the future. But there is going to be some disaster awakening. And it is going to be very sudden, and it's, it's nothing that he can avoid. This is going to cause him to feel hopeless and very anxious. This is something to do with surrendering and letting go and trying to gain new perspective. We are talking about he might have to sacrifice something. Maybe he has to change something, release something. This is about him moving on, leaving behind something. It might be a relationship ending. If he is in some kind of a love relationship, that might be it, but it doesn't necessarily have to be that. It can also be, a work relationship. It can be a relationship to a friend. It can be anything. But he's going to go through some loneliness, and he's going to feel like he's lost his way. And there will be times when he's going to feel completely isolated. So it seems like he is not doing well at the moment, or this is something that is going to happen soon in the near future, unfortunately. Kind of feels like he's working without result, and he's disappointed. I don't know what he's doing at the moment. but he doesn't feel like he is getting the result that he was hoping for. He feels that he is very limited. He feels like he is... It's kind of like he's trying to fill someone's shoes and he doesn't feel good enough. And again, we have this, I don't know if maybe he is or will be going through some kind of heartbreak. Because we have this moving on, we have this Tower, and now we got Three of Swords, which is very often a breakup card. So there might be some grief awaiting for him in the near future, unfortunately. He is going to experience some kind of sorrow, some kind of loss in one way or another. Maybe he's going to be betrayed. But then again, we get another card which symbolizes proposal, marriage, even baby. So this is kind of contradicting. He is getting both heartache and wedding and proposal. But as I say, sometimes the cards are very symbolic, so it doesn't necessarily have, it doesn't necessarily mean a romantic relationship, a real wedding. It can be, a project. It can be a union of colleagues. It can be something like that as well. So we have to interpret it along the way and along with the other cards. But he's definitely going to suffer from some kind of heartache, but at the same time, he's also going to rejoice in the form of a union of some kind, whether that is with a romantic partner or with something else. It's hard to say. I'm also not a person who knows very much about Liam. I don't really know what I know that he's an actor, but that's about it. And I don't know who he dates, and yeah, so I can't really, I don't have anything to compare the cards with. So those of you who are actually fans, who know more about him, will probably understand the cards a little bit more than I do. Okay, let's just pull a few final cards to finalize this reading. And I would like to hear from you in the comments. Maybe you see something that I don't. We've got the Moon reversed and we've got the King of Swords. We are talking about mind games. We are talking about weaknesses. We are talking about release of fear, repressing emotions, inner confusion. I don't know, maybe someone is playing some sort of mind games with him that is tearing him down, that is giving him a lot of headache and a lot of sorrow, and that is actually hurting him because he is not expecting this kind of manipulation, and he feels weak. So he's trying to work with himself to release some of the fear that he's feeling. He doesn't want to carry these insecurities within him, within him anymore. So I kind of feel like someone is not being nice to him. Someone is, I don't know if it is directly bullying him, but someone is definitely playing games with his mind and try to suppress him, try to drag him down in a way. So he might be in a fight with someone, he might be in a conflict, and he doesn't like conflict. So that is really stressing him out. That might be, causing the tower moment. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I hope that you'll leave some comments for me. If there are anything that you see in the cards that I don't, I would like to know about. Until next time, bye-bye.